Be born, brother, be born. And so, Steam finally released a new free MMO game called Age of Conan. In fact, the game isn't actually new at all. It came out back in 2008. Back then, the game used to cost $50 for the game itself and about $13 every month for subscription, as it still is now for the premium version. So the game recently became free-to-play, except it's hard to call it free-to-play, as to prevent yourself from sucking dick, you'll still need to pay a crazy sum. Here we can take a look at the official thread stating the difference between the two versions. All free dungeons are for noobs, so without paying you'll continue to suck dick. Storage space is halved, alternative advancement doesn't exist, and limits you to having only 2 charts as opposed to 8. Just as I said, the game is free, but without pay you'll be a cripple without a wheelchair. Just as we enter the game, we see a standardized process of character creation. You can choose your gender, race, class. Because I'm playing the free version, half of these classes aren't available to me. I decided not to waste my time, so I've chosen one of the warriors. You're given the ability to customize your appearance. You can change your height, shoulder size, skin color, eye position, and so on. I decided to choose pretty much the most default one. I tried to call myself Stalin 666 at first, but it was unavailable, then Gorbachev, but it was also taken. In the end I named myself Yeltsin and got a beard of Charles Darwin. The first cutscene is just wonderful. You're simply drowning in the water for 1 minute. That's all that is. In reality you start drowning only when your body loses most of the air, so technically I'm already dead if I'm drowning so fast. Then somehow I'm washed ashore, just as in the game called Ryzen, and here's where the shit gets going. Even though the game itself seemed like a piece of shit, typical MMO, I was impressed that every single word in any of the dialogue is voiced over in this game, so players will actually spend time talking to NPCs, even about useless shit just for entertainment. So it doesn't matter who you talk to, there will always be a voiceover. This makes a typical MMO way more interesting, as players then tend to listen to what NPCs have to say and dive into the atmosphere of the world and understand the storyline of the game. If you take out the voiceover dialogues, the quests in this game are total crap, just as they are in any other MMO. Go kill him, loot the key, open rusty chains that can be easily cut with a sword, etc. Here's a typical quest. You need to build this piece of shit wall out of some crappy old bricks so the lava doesn't get into the city. But nobody gives a damn that this bridge is wooden and half rotten. It would burn down ages ago if lava was so close under it. Not to mention that you need to bring a total of 3 fucking bricks for this quest to finish off this wall, as if the quest giver couldn't get those 3 bloody bricks himself. Here's another great quest. You gotta take a note from a god and give it to his girlfriend, who's literally 10 meters away from him right behind the wall. The locations here are corridor based, just like the rest of the world, so you can't climb up a mountain and sit there. You can only just run through corridors and walk into an invisible wall. Here's the proof. You're just swimming into an invisible wall. When entering a house, you must wait for 10 to 15 seconds and look at the same shit-stained loading screen. While the game is loading, you can read tips. One of them is to assist your tank by selecting them and pressing F. It's all stolen from WoW. Take a look at how enemies are located on the map. So we see panthers, crocodiles, and people right next to each other, and nobody's attacking one another, even though the distance between them is about 3 meters. Because locations are so small, they decided to compensate it by vision of enemies, which means enemies can't see you even if you are in their sight 5 meters away from them. Even though they tried to make the locations look nice, the crappy graphics do not make them beautiful at all. The graphics look very much like the ones in the game 2 Worlds Part 1. The textures are pretty crap, as you can see. I tried changing the graphics to Ultra, but as you can see, almost nothing changed and the game started giving me 5 frames per second. However, the bodies of people are quite nice for an MMO, and you can watch their emotions even though the voiceover plays the main role in that. The lighting here is absolute shit, as you can see. All shadows are pre-rendered. Here's a demonstration. You can see all you need here. The game has a pretty unique system of daytime change. When entering a tavern, you have the ability of sleeping and waking up during night. If you wake up at night, you are transferred into single-player mode and you run around alone and complete some of the quests which are only available at night time. I don't know why they've chosen to waste their resource on making this, especially considering that 90% of the time players play in daytime to communicate with others. The interior of the buildings is quite good, as you can see. However, not all buildings are done this well, and many have a very shitty interior. The interface here is pretty typical for any MMO, so there isn't much to discuss. Almost every MMO has the same interface, and in this game there's nothing new, except the inventory is moved to the top of the screen to confuse people. The combat system looks quite interesting at first. You have 3 ways to swing your sword, from left, right, or the middle, even though I never quite understood the difference of effect between the 3, so I just went around spamming the 3 buttons. Also, you have the ability to crouch in case you want to take double damage and sprint, which is quite unusual for an MMO to have. Combat in this game happens like this. You come up right at the monster, you spam all those 3 buttons at the monster's face. 10 seconds later, victory. You can fight with 5 NPCs at once and they'll try to beat the shit out of you, but nothing will happen to you because the damage is so low. As you progress with leveling, new abilities will unlock, like stuns and shield hits, but I noticed no particular use of them, so I just kept spamming the 3 buttons. Loot here is dropped about once in 10 mobs. On the road to the town I killed about 100 pirates, and all I found were shorts, bandana, and about 15 gold teeth. It's almost like a simulator of the Soviet Union where people are killed for caps and gold teeth implants. Then I was kicked from one of the 3 possible servers and decided not to continue with this wonderful game. In conclusion, I want to say that the game has barely interested me. All these free games are like cheese and mousetraps. The only somewhat good free-to-play game is Team Fortress 2, as the premium version doesn't give any bonuses over the 3 version. However, of course, the game is of a totally different genre. If you're looking for a good MMO to play, then play World of Warcraft. If you don't have any money to play it, then play on a pirated server, and that's about it. If you found this video interesting, please subscribe to the channel. From now on, I will most likely translate every one of my game reviews into English as well, so subscribe and be patient. In fact, you don't even have to be patient, just ignore my Russian title videos.